Feeling overwhelmed by negativity? Discover 7 powerful strategies to transform your emotional landscape overnight. The audiobook, Emotional Intelligence Mastery, 7 Ways to Destroy Negativity Overnight, equips you with innovative techniques rooted in psychology to swiftly overcome negativity and cultivate lasting positivity. From the midnight shift to the dawn of positivity, you'll learn to harness your emotions, build unshakable resilience, and create a brighter future. Don't let negativity hold you back. Your journey to emotional freedom starts here. Before we go on, I invite you to download the free bundle, which contains the ebook version of this book and an executive summary of all the chapters with the key takeaways. Studies show that engaging with content through multiple formats significantly enhances learning and retention. Click on the first link in the description to claim your free bundle now and maximize your learning potential. Now it's free, but it won't be for long, so make sure to grab it while you can. Chapter 1, Midnight Shift. In the depths of night, when the world sleeps and silence reigns, a powerful transformation awaits. This is the realm of the midnight shift, a pivotal moment where you can harness the extraordinary power of your mind to revolutionize your emotional landscape. As you embark on this journey through Emotional Intelligence Mastery, 7 Ways to Destroy Negativity Overnight, prepare to unlock the hidden potential within you, capable of reshaping your thoughts, emotions, and ultimately your life. Imagine waking up tomorrow with a profound sense of clarity, your mind free from the clutches of negativity that once held you back. This isn't a far-fetched dream, but a tangible reality within your grasp. The human brain, with its remarkable plasticity, possesses an innate ability to rewire itself rapidly under the right conditions. This neuroplasticity is the key to unlocking swift and lasting change in your emotional responses and overall mindset. From the very first time you delve into the strategies presented in this book, you'll begin to experience noticeable shifts in your mental state. You'll develop an acute awareness of your emotions, recognizing the subtle nuances that color your experiences. More importantly, you'll learn to identify and interrupt negative thought patterns before they spiral out of control. This newfound emotional awareness is your first step towards mastery over your inner world. But the journey doesn't end there. As you continue to apply these techniques, you'll witness a profound transformation unfold. Over time, you'll cultivate sustained emotional balance and resilience. The strategies you learn will become second nature, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with grace and positivity. You'll develop a long-term positive mindset that not only shields you from negativity, but also attracts abundance and joy into your life. At the heart of this transformation lies the concept of emotional intelligence. Far more than just understanding emotions, emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, interpret, and effectively manage both your own emotions and those of others. It's a powerful tool that can dramatically improve your relationships, decision-making abilities, and overall quality of life. In the context of overcoming negativity, emotional intelligence serves as your compass, guiding you through the stormy seas of challenging emotions towards calmer waters. The urgency of the midnight shift cannot be overstated. In a world that often feels overwhelmed by negativity, the need for immediate action is paramount. The good news is that rapid change is not only possible, but also highly achievable with the right approach. Psychological research has shown that focused effort, combined with the right techniques, can initiate profound changes in our emotional responses within a remarkably short period. This book presents 7 powerful strategies, each designed to target a specific aspect of emotional mastery. These strategies work in harmony, creating a comprehensive toolkit for immediate and lasting change. From the silent nod that teaches you to acknowledge your emotions without judgment, to the inner fortress that provides a mental sanctuary in times of stress, each technique builds upon the last, creating a robust framework for emotional resilience. As you progress through the chapters, you'll discover the key components of each strategy and the essential steps for their implementation. You'll learn how to practice micro-stillness, finding moments of calm amidst the chaos of daily life. The magic flashcards will teach you to rewire your brain for positivity, while reverse goals will help you build confidence by celebrating past achievements. Ink lines will show you how to express and process emotions creatively, and Rip Release will guide you through the cathartic process of letting go of negativity. The sequence of these strategies is carefully designed to maximize their impact. Each step builds upon the previous one, creating a logical progression that guides you from acknowledging your emotions to actively reshaping your emotional landscape. This thoughtful ordering ensures that you develop a strong foundation in emotional awareness before moving on to more advanced techniques for emotional regulation and positivity cultivation. As you stand on the brink of this transformative journey, know that the power to change lies within you. The midnight shift is not just a metaphor, it's a call to action. It's an invitation to harness the quiet hours of the night or any moment of stillness in your day to initiate profound change in your life. The strategies you're about to discover are rooted in cutting-edge psychological research and time-tested wisdom. They draw upon the principles of neuroplasticity, mindfulness, and positive psychology to create a potent formula for emotional mastery. By consistently applying these techniques, you'll be amazed at how quickly you can shift your emotional state and outlook on life. Remember, this journey is not about suppressing or denying negative emotions. Instead, it's about developing a healthier relationship with all of your emotions, learning to navigate them with wisdom and grace. You'll discover how to use even challenging emotions as catalysts for growth and self-discovery. As we conclude this introductory chapter, you might be wondering what lies ahead in the upcoming chapters. Each strategy we'll explore offers its own unique approach to emotional mastery, promising to unveil secrets that have the power to transform your life. The silent nod, for instance, holds the key to a revolutionary way of dealing with emotions that you've likely never encountered before. But for now, as you stand at the threshold of this journey, take a moment to reflect on the possibilities that await you. The midnight shift is more than just a concept. It's a gateway to a new way of being. It's an opportunity to rewrite your emotional script and step into a life of greater joy, resilience, and fulfillment. As the first light of dawn breaks, signaling the end of this midnight shift, remember that each new day brings with it the opportunity for transformation. The journey you're about to embark on has the power to reshape not just your emotions, but your entire life experience. Are you ready to step into the realm of emotional intelligence mastery and discover the extraordinary power that lies within you? In the next chapter, we'll delve into a technique so powerful yet so subtle it has the potential to revolutionize your relationship with your emotions. Prepare to discover a method that can neutralize negativity with a simple, silent acknowledgement. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Grow to the Top and activate notifications to receive more self-improvement tips that will supercharge your growth. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you for your support. Chapter 2: Silent Nod. Have you ever noticed how a simple nod can speak volumes? In the realm of emotional intelligence, there's a powerful technique that harnesses this subtle gesture to transform your relationship with negativity. Welcome to the world of the silent nod, a deceptively simple yet profoundly effective strategy for managing your emotional landscape. Imagine standing face to face with your most challenging emotions. Instead of running away or fighting against them, you simply acknowledge their presence with a quiet, internal nod. This seemingly small act can set in motion a cascade of positive changes in your emotional state, paving the way for a swift transition from negativity to positivity. But what exactly is this silent nod, and why is it so powerful? At its core, this technique is about acceptance, not resignation, but a form of radical acceptance that can dramatically alter your emotional experience. It's about creating a momentary pause, a space between stimulus and response, where you can choose how to engage with your emotions rather than being swept away by them. The power of this approach lies in its immediacy. When you encounter a negative emotion, the silent nod allows you to reduce its intensity almost instantly. It's like turning down the volume on a loud, discordant noise. The emotion doesn't disappear entirely, but its grip on you loosens, creating room for more positive responses to emerge. Think about the last time you felt overwhelmed by a negative emotion. Perhaps it was anger, fear, or sadness. In that moment, the emotion likely felt all-consuming, as if it had taken over your entire being. Now, imagine if you could create a small gap between yourself and that emotion, not to push it away, but to observe it with curiosity and without judgment. This is precisely what the silent nod allows you to do. This approach is rooted in a psychological concept known as radical acceptance. It's a cornerstone of dialectical behavior therapy, DBT, a powerful therapeutic modality that has helped countless individuals manage intense emotions and improve their quality of life. The essence of radical acceptance is acknowledging reality as it is, without fighting against it or wishing it were different. When applied to our emotional experiences, radical acceptance teaches us that we can acknowledge our feelings without being controlled by them. It's about saying, yes, this emotion is here, and that's okay, rather than, this emotion shouldn't be here, and I need to get rid of it immediately. This shift in perspective can be transformative. So, how does one practice the silent nod? It begins with awareness. The next time you notice a negative emotion arising, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and internally nod to the emotion as if you're greeting it. You might even say to yourself, I see you, anger, or hello, anxiety. This simple act of acknowledgement can create a profound shift in your emotional state. The key is to approach this practice without judgment. You're not labeling the emotion as good or bad, right or wrong. You're simply recognizing its presence. This non-judgmental stance is crucial because it allows you to step back from the emotion and observe it more objectively. As you incorporate the silent nod into your daily life, you'll likely notice that it becomes easier and more natural over time. You might find yourself automatically pausing and acknowledging your emotions in various situations, during a stressful work meeting, in the midst of an argument, or when facing a personal challenge. One of the most powerful aspects of this technique is its ability to regulate emotions effectively. By accepting our emotions, rather than fighting against them, we paradoxically reduce their power over us. It's like the old adage, what you resist persists. When we stop resisting our emotions and instead acknowledge them, they often begin to dissipate on their own. Moreover, the silent nod opens up pathways for problem solving. When we're no longer consumed by trying to push away or change our emotions, we free up mental and emotional energy to address the underlying issues more effectively. It's like clearing the fog from a windshield. Suddenly, we can see the road ahead more clearly. To truly master this technique, regular practice is key. You might start by setting aside a few minutes each day for a guided acceptance practice. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and bring to mind a recent situation that triggered negative emotions. As you recall the event and the associated feelings, practice giving them a silent nod. Notice how this small act of acknowledgement affects your emotional state. Journaling can also be a powerful tool in this process. After practicing the silent nod, take a few moments to write about your experience. What emotions did you notice? How did it feel to acknowledge them without judgment? Did you observe any shifts in your emotional state? As with any new skill, mastering the silent nod takes time and patience. In the beginning, you might find it challenging to accept certain emotions, especially intense or long-standing ones. This is entirely normal. The key is to approach the practice with gentleness and persistence. If you encounter resistance, remember that this too is part of the process. You can even give a silent nod to the resistance itself. I see you, resistance, you might say internally. This meta-acceptance can be a powerful way to work through challenges in your practice. As you continue to work with the silent nod, you'll likely notice a range of positive outcomes. At the most basic level, you'll develop increased emotional awareness. You'll become more attuned to your emotional states, recognizing them more quickly and clearly. With continued practice, you'll likely experience improved emotional regulation. you'll find yourself better able to manage challenging emotions, responding to them with greater equanimity rather than being overwhelmed by them. At the highest level of mastery, you may achieve a state of deep acceptance and emotional balance. In this state, emotions flow through you without causing significant disturbance. You're able to experience the full range of human emotions while maintaining a sense of inner peace and stability. Remember, the journey of emotional mastery is just that, a journey. There will be ups and downs, moments of clarity, and moments of confusion. The silent nod is a powerful tool to help you navigate this journey with greater ease and grace. As we conclude this chapter, you might be wondering what other powerful techniques await you in the pages ahead. The next strategy we'll explore takes the concept of emotional regulation to a whole new level. It involves a practice so subtle yet so potent that it can transform your emotional state in mere moments. Are you ready to discover the power of micro moments in managing your emotions? Chapter 3: Micro-Stillness. In the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, finding moments of peace can seem like an impossible task. Yet, hidden within the fabric of our busy days are countless opportunities for transformation. These fleeting instants, often overlooked, hold the power to shift our emotional state from chaos to calm, from negativity to positivity. Welcome to the world of micro-stillness, where the smallest moments can yield the most profound changes. Imagine being able to press a reset button on your emotions, instantly dissipating stress and restoring balance. This isn't a far-fetched dream, but a tangible reality that you can achieve through the practice of micro-stillness. But what exactly is this mysterious technique, and how can it so swiftly turn the tide of negativity? At its core, micro-stillness is about harnessing the power of the present moment. It's a practice that allows you to step out of the whirlwind of thoughts and emotions, even if just for a few seconds, and find your center. This brief pause can be enough to break the cycle of negative thinking and restore emotional equilibrium. The beauty of micro-stillness lies in its simplicity and accessibility. You don't need to retreat to a mountaintop or spend hours in meditation to reap its benefits. These moments of stillness can be found and created anywhere, at any time. Whether you're stuck in traffic, waiting in line at the grocery store, or sitting at your desk, opportunities for micro-stillness are always within reach. But how does such a brief practice yield such powerful results? The answer lies in the science of mindfulness. Research has shown that even short periods of mindful awareness can have significant impacts on our brain and nervous system. When we pause to focus on the present moment, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for our rest and digest response. This counteracts the effects of stress and helps restore balance to our emotional state. Moreover, these brief moments of mindfulness can interrupt the cycle of negative thinking that often fuels our stress and anxiety. By redirecting our attention to the present moment, we create a gap in the stream of thoughts, allowing us to step back and gain perspective. This can be particularly powerful when we're caught in a spiral of worry or rumination. So, how does one practice micro-stillness? The techniques are surprisingly simple, yet profoundly effective. One approach is to focus on your breath for just a few cycles. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you can pause for a moment and bring your attention to your breathing. Notice the sensation of the air moving in and out of your body. This simple act of awareness can anchor you in the present moment and provide a brief respite from stress and negative thinking. Another technique involves bringing your attention to your senses. Take a moment to notice what you can see, hear, feel, smell, and taste in your immediate environment. This sensory awareness pulls you out of your thoughts and into the present moment, creating a sense of stillness and calm. You might also try a quick body scan. Starting from the top of your head, bring your attention to each part of your body, noticing any sensations or tensions. This can help release physical stress and bring you back to the present moment. The key to making micro-stillness effective is integrating it into your daily routine. Look for natural pauses in your day where you can practice these brief moments of mindfulness. It could be while waiting for your coffee to brew, during your commute, or even as you transition between tasks at work. By sprinkling these moments of stillness throughout your day, you create multiple opportunities to reset your emotional state and maintain balance. As you begin to incorporate micro-stillness into your life, you'll likely notice a range of benefits. The most immediate effect is often a sense of calm and centeredness. Even a brief pause can help you feel more grounded and less reactive to stress. Over time, regular practice can lead to more consistent emotional equilibrium. You may find that you're better able to navigate challenging situations without becoming overwhelmed. The brief moments of stillness act as a buffer, giving you space to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Perhaps most importantly, micro-stillness can help disrupt negative thought patterns. By regularly stepping out of the stream of thoughts, you create space to observe your mental habits more objectively. This awareness is the first step in changing unhelpful patterns of thinking and cultivating a more positive mindset. To get started with micro-stillness, try this simple exercise. Set an alarm on your phone to go off every hour. When it does, take 3 conscious breaths, focusing your full attention on the sensation of breathing. That's it. This tiny practice, repeated regularly, can begin to shift your relationship with stress and negative emotions. As you become more comfortable with the practice, you can experiment with different techniques and find what works best for you. Some people find it helpful to use visual cues as reminders to practice. For example, you might decide to take a moment of stillness every time you see a red traffic light or receive a text message. Remember, the goal isn't to achieve a particular state or to make negative emotions disappear. Rather, it's about creating small pockets of awareness throughout your day, gradually building your capacity for presence and emotional regulation. Of course, like any new skill, practicing micro-stillness can come with challenges. You might find it difficult to remember to practice, or you may struggle to focus when you do. This is entirely normal. The key is to approach the practice with patience and persistence. If you find it hard to focus, try simplifying your practice even further. Instead of 3 breaths, start with just 1. Instead of a full body scan, just notice the sensation in your hands. The beauty of micro-stillness is that even the smallest moment of awareness can be beneficial. As you continue to practice, you may notice your ability to find stillness improving. What starts as fleeting moments of calm can develop into a more pervasive sense of presence and emotional balance. At its best, the practice of micro-stillness can lead to a fundamental shift in how you relate to your thoughts and emotions, fostering a deep sense of inner peace and resilience. The journey of micro-stillness is one of continual discovery. Each moment of practice is an opportunity to learn more about yourself and to cultivate greater emotional intelligence. As you move forward, remember that every pause, no matter how brief, is a step towards greater emotional mastery. As we conclude this exploration of micro-stillness, you might be wondering what other powerful tools await you on this journey of emotional transformation. The next chapter will introduce you to a strategy that goes beyond momentary pauses, offering a way to create a permanent sanctuary within yourself. Are you ready to discover the secret to building an unshakable foundation of emotional strength? Chapter 4: Inner Fortress. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, wouldn't it be wonderful to have a place of absolute safety and tranquility? A sanctuary where you could retreat at a moment's notice, leaving behind the stresses and negativity of daily life? This isn't just a fantasy. It's a powerful tool for emotional mastery that you can cultivate within your own mind. Welcome to the concept of the inner fortress. Imagine having a secret hideaway, a place that exists solely in your mind, yet feels as real and tangible as any physical location. A place where negative emotions lose their grip, where clarity replaces confusion, and where you can find instant relief from the pressures of the outside world. This is the essence of the inner fortress, a mental safe space that you can access anytime, anywhere. But what exactly is this inner fortress, and how can it so swiftly turn the tide of negativity? At its core, the inner fortress is a vivid mental image or series of images that represent safety, calm, and positivity for you. It's a place you create in your mind's eye, tailored specifically to your needs and preferences. This mental construct becomes a powerful tool for emotional regulation, providing an immediate escape when negativity threatens to overwhelm you. The power of the inner fortress lies in its ability to engage your mind fully, redirecting your focus away from stressors and negative thoughts. When you step into your inner fortress, you're not just thinking about a calm place, you're experiencing it with all your senses. This immersive mental experience can have profound effects on your emotional state, quickly shifting you from stress to calm, from anxiety to peace. But how does simply imagining a place have such a powerful impact on our emotions? The answer lies in the intricate connection between our minds and bodies. When we vividly imagine a safe and calm environment, our bodies respond as if we were actually there. Our heart rate slows, our muscles relax, and stress hormones decrease. This physical response, in turn, reinforces the feeling of calm and safety, creating a positive feedback loop that can quickly shift our emotional state. Moreover, the inner fortress serves as more than just a temporary escape. Regular visits to this mental sanctuary can enhance your overall emotional resilience. By practicing this technique, you're essentially training your brain to shift into a calm state more easily. Over time, this can lead to greater emotional stability and a reduced vulnerability to stress and negativity. So how does one go about building this inner fortress? The process begins with visualization, a powerful technique often used in cognitive behavioral therapy and sports psychology. Start by finding a quiet moment where you can close your eyes and relax. Then, begin to imagine a place that represents absolute safety and calm for you. This could be a real place you visited, a combination of places you love, or a completely imaginary location. As you build this place in your mind, engage all your senses. What do you see? Perhaps it's a secluded beach with crystal clear water, or a cozy cabin nestled in a peaceful forest. What sounds do you hear? It might be the gentle lapping of waves, the rustle of leaves in the breeze, or complete serene silence. What can you feel? Maybe it's warm sand between your toes, or the soft texture of a comfortable chair. What scents are in the air? The salt of the sea, the earthy smell of the forest, or the comforting aroma of your favorite meal. The key is to make this place as vivid and detailed as possible. The more real it feels to you, the more powerful its effect will be. Remember, this is your personal sanctuary. You have complete control over every aspect of it. If something doesn't feel quite right, change it. Your inner fortress should be a perfect reflection of what safety and calm mean to you. As you practice visualizing your inner fortress, you'll likely find that it becomes easier to access and more vivid over time. You might start by spending a few minutes each day deliberately visualizing and exploring your fortress. As you become more familiar with it, you'll be able to step into this mental safe space more quickly, even in the midst of stressful situations. The benefits of regularly retreating to your inner fortress can be profound. Many people report significant reductions in anxiety and stress after incorporating this practice into their daily lives. The inner fortress provides a mental oasis, a place where you can catch your breath and regain your composure when life feels overwhelming. Moreover, regular visits to your inner fortress can help restore mental clarity. When we're stressed or anxious, our thinking often becomes clouded and unfocused. By stepping into your mental sanctuary, you create space for your mind to settle. This can lead to improved decision-making and problem-solving abilities, as you're able to approach challenges from a calmer, more centered state of mind. To get the most out of your inner fortress, consider the following exercise. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes in a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths to relax. Then, begin to visualize your inner fortress. Start with the broad strokes, the overall environment, and then gradually add more details. Explore this space with all your senses. What do you see, hear, smell, feel, and perhaps even taste? Allow yourself to fully experience the safety and calm of this place. As you become more comfortable with your inner fortress, you can begin to use it in your daily life. When you feel stress or negativity building, Take a moment to close your eyes and step into your fortress. Even a brief visit, just a few seconds, can help reset your emotional state and provide a buffer against stress. Remember, the inner fortress is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. In the beginning, you might find it challenging to visualize clearly or to stay focused on your mental image. This is entirely normal. Be patient with yourself and keep practicing. Over time, you'll likely find that your inner fortress becomes more vivid and easier to access. If you struggle with visualization, don't worry. There are ways to make the process easier. Some people find it helpful to start with a real photograph of a calm place and use that as a starting point for their visualization. Others prefer to build their fortress piece by piece, focusing on one sensory detail at a time. The key is to find an approach that works for you. As you continue to develop and use your inner fortress, you may notice different levels of benefit. At a basic level, you might experience temporary relief from stress when you visit your mental sanctuary. This alone can be a powerful tool for managing day-to-day stressors. With consistent practice, many people find that they gain more consistent access to a sense of mental calm. The inner fortress becomes a reliable tool that they can use to regulate their emotions effectively in a variety of situations. At the highest level of mastery, some individuals report achieving a state where the calm and safety of the inner fortress become a constant presence in their lives. The fortress is no longer just a place they visit, but a part of their mental landscape, providing a continuous sense of emotional stability and resilience. As we conclude this exploration of the inner fortress, you might be wondering what other powerful tools await you on this journey of emotional transformation. The next chapter will introduce you to a technique that goes beyond mental imagery, tapping into a force so fundamental to human happiness that its absence can lead to profound emotional distress. Are you ready to discover the secret to unlocking a wellspring of positivity that exists within you at this very moment? Chapter 5, Magic Flashcards. Have you ever wished for a magic wand that could instantly transform your mood from gloomy to joyful? While such a wand might not exist in the physical world, there's a powerful tool at your disposal that comes remarkably close. It's a technique so simple yet so potent that it might just feel like magic. Welcome to the world of magic flashcards. Imagine having a secret weapon against negativity, a tool that you can pull out at any moment to shift your focus from what's wrong in your life to what's right. These magic flashcards are not ordinary learning aids. They're gateways to a more positive state of mind. But what exactly are these mysterious cards, and how can they work such wonders on your emotional state? At their core, magic flashcards are physical reminders of the good things in your life. They're tangible tokens of positivity that you can hold in your hand, carry in your pocket, or place strategically around your environment. Each card contains a simple statement of gratitude, a snapshot of something positive in your life. But their power goes far beyond mere positive thinking. The magic of these flashcards lies in their ability to counteract one of the most persistent challenges we face in our quest for emotional well-being, our brain's natural negativity bias. You see, our brains are wired to pay more attention to negative experiences than positive ones. This bias served our ancestors well, helping them stay alert to potential dangers. But in our modern world, it can lead to an overemphasis on the negative aspects of our lives, fueling stress, anxiety, and pessimism. This is where magic flashcards come in. By deliberately focusing our attention on positive aspects of our lives, we can begin to counterbalance this negativity bias. Each time we read a card, we're not just reminding ourselves of something good, we're actually training our brains to notice and appreciate the positive more readily. But the power of these cards goes even deeper. They tap into a fundamental force for happiness and well-being: gratitude. Numerous studies have shown that practicing gratitude can have profound effects on our mental and emotional health. It can boost our mood, increase our resilience to stress, improve our relationships, and even enhance our physical health. So, how do you harness this power for yourself? Creating your own set of magic flashcards is a simple yet profound process. Start by setting aside some quiet time for reflection. Think about the various aspects of your life, your relationships, your achievements, your possessions, your experiences, and identify specific things you're grateful for. As you identify these points of gratitude, write each one on a separate index card or small piece of paper. Keep your statements simple and specific. Instead of a general statement like, "I'm grateful for my family," you might write, "I'm grateful for the way my sister always knows how to make me laugh." The more specific and personal your statements, the more powerful they'll be. Don't limit yourself to big, obvious things. Sometimes it's the small, everyday pleasures that can have the most impact when we take the time to appreciate them. The smell of fresh coffee in the morning, the feeling of warm sunlight on your skin, the sound of your favorite song, all of these can be powerful sources of gratitude. As you create your cards, aim for a mix of different types of gratitude. Include things about yourself, your strengths, your accomplishments, things about others, the kindness of friends, the support of family, and things about your environment and experiences, the beauty of nature, the opportunities you've had. Once you've created your initial set of cards, aim for at least 20 to start with. The real magic begins. The key to making these flashcards work is using them regularly. Keep them somewhere easily accessible, in your purse or wallet, on your bedside table, or at your desk. Then, make it a habit to review them at specific times during your day. You might start your morning by reading through a few cards, setting a positive tone for the day ahead. Or you could review them during your lunch break, providing a midday boost of positivity. Many people find it beneficial to read through their cards before bed, ending the day on a note of gratitude. But don't just limit yourself to scheduled reviews. The real power of magic flashcards comes from using them in moments when you need them most. When you feel stress or negativity creeping in, pull out your cards and read through a few. You may be surprised at how quickly your perspective can shift. As you use your magic flashcards, you'll likely notice several benefits. In the short term, you might experience an immediate lift in your mood. Reading about the good things in your life can provide a quick emotional boost, helping you navigate challenging moments with greater ease. Over time, consistent use of your flashcards can lead to more lasting changes. You may find yourself naturally noticing positive aspects of your life more frequently. Your overall outlook might become more optimistic, and you might find it easier to maintain a positive perspective even in the face of challenges. At the highest level of practice, many people report a fundamental shift in their worldview. Gratitude becomes not just a practice, but a way of life. They develop a deep appreciation for the richness and beauty of their experiences, leading to greater contentment and joy in daily life. To get the most out of your magic flashcards, consider the following exercise. Set aside 30 minutes for a gratitude flashcard workshop. Find a quiet, comfortable space where you won't be disturbed. Begin by taking a few deep breaths to center yourself. Then, start brainstorming things you're grateful for. Don't censor yourself. Write down anything that comes to mind, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. Once you have a good list, start creating your flashcards. As you write each one, take a moment to really feel the gratitude. Visualize the person, thing, or experience you're writing about. Allow yourself to fully appreciate it. After you've created your initial set of cards, commit to using them for at least a week. Set reminders on your phone if needed. At the end of the week, reflect on any changes you've noticed in your mood or outlook. Remember, the power of magic flashcards lies not just in creating them, but in using them consistently. Like any skill, cultivating gratitude takes practice. You might find it challenging at first, especially if you're going through a difficult time. That's okay. Start small and be patient with yourself. If you find it hard to stick to your gratitude practice, try linking it to an existing habit. For example, you could review your cards while drinking your morning coffee or just before brushing your teeth at night. You might also consider finding an accountability partner, someone who can check in with you regularly about your practice. As you continue to use your magic flashcards, don't be afraid to update them. Add new cards as you discover new sources of gratitude in your life. Replace old cards that no longer resonate as strongly. Your set of magic flashcards should be a living, evolving reflection of the positive aspects of your life. The journey of cultivating gratitude through magic flashcards is one of continual discovery and growth. Each card you create, each moment of appreciation, is a step towards a more positive, resilient state of mind. As you move forward, remember that the magic isn't in the cards themselves, but in the shift in perspective they create. As we conclude this exploration of magic flashcards, you might be wondering what other powerful tools await you on this journey of emotional transformation. The next chapter will introduce you to a technique that doesn't just focus on the present or future, but taps into the hidden power of your past. Are you ready to discover how looking backward can be the key to moving forward? Chapter 6: Reverse Goals. Have you ever felt like you're constantly chasing after the next big thing, always focused on what you haven't achieved yet? In our goal-oriented society, it's easy to get caught up in the endless pursuit of future accomplishments. But what if I told you that the key to unlocking a more positive mindset and boosting your self-confidence lies not in what you haven't done, but in what you've already achieved? Welcome to the world of reverse goals, a powerful technique that flips the script on traditional goal setting and personal development strategies. But what exactly are reverse goals, and how can they help you transform negativity into positivity? Imagine for a moment that you have a special pair of glasses. When you put them on, instead of seeing all the things you want to do or achieve in the future, you see a vivid display of all your past accomplishments, big and small. These glasses allow you to see yourself not as a work in progress, but as a collection of successes and strengths. This is the essence of reverse goals. At its core, the reverse goals strategy involves creating what we might call a reverse bucket list. Instead of listing all the things you want to do before you kick the bucket, you're going to create a list of all the meaningful things you've already done and achieved. It's a simple shift in perspective, but its impact can be profound. But why is this backward-looking approach so powerful? The answer lies in the way our brains process information and form our self-image. We have a tendency to focus on our shortcomings and the goals we haven't yet achieved, often overlooking the many successes we've had along the way. This negative bias can lead to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt, fueling a cycle of negativity. By deliberately shifting our focus to our past achievements, we counteract this negative bias. We remind ourselves of our capabilities, our resilience, and our growth. This isn't about living in the past or resting on our laurels. It's about recognizing our inherent worth and building a foundation of self-confidence that can propel us forward. So, how do we put this strategy into practice? The first step is to set aside some quiet time for reflection. Find a comfortable spot where you won't be disturbed and start thinking back over your life. Begin with major milestones, graduations, career advancements, personal relationships, but don't stop there. Include smaller achievements that were meaningful to you, moments of personal growth, obstacles you've overcome, and skills you've developed. As you reflect, start writing these achievements down. Don't censor yourself or dismiss anything as too small or insignificant. That time you finally learned to ride a bike, write it down. The day you mustered the courage to speak up in a meeting, that goes on the list too. The goal is to create a comprehensive inventory of your life's accomplishments. Once you have your initial list, take some time to reflect on each item. For each achievement, ask yourself, what strengths did I demonstrate? What did I learn from this experience? How has this achievement shaped who I am today? This deeper reflection helps you not just recall your achievements, but truly appreciate their significance and the personal growth they represent. The power of this exercise lies not just in creating the list, but in how you use it. Make it a habit to review your reverse bucket list regularly, especially when you're feeling down or doubting yourself. Let it serve as a reminder of your capabilities and your worth. You might even consider creating a visual representation of your achievements, a collage, a timeline, or a digital slideshow that you can easily reference when you need a boost. But the reverse goals strategy isn't just about passive reflection. It's also about active celebration. Too often, we achieve something and then immediately move on to the next goal without taking time to truly acknowledge and celebrate our success. Make it a point to celebrate your past achievements, both big and small. This could be as simple as sharing your accomplishments with a friend or treating yourself to something special as a way of honoring your past successes. As you practice the reverse goals strategy, you're likely to notice several benefits. In the short term, you might experience an immediate boost in confidence and mood. Reflecting on your achievements can provide a quick antidote to feelings of self-doubt or inadequacy. Over time, consistent practice can lead to a more stable and positive self-image. You may find yourself more resilient in the face of challenges, able to draw on the reminder of past successes to bolster your confidence. This can be particularly powerful when facing new challenges or pursuing new goals. At the highest level of practice, many people report a fundamental shift in how they view themselves and their capabilities. They develop a deep-seated confidence that isn't easily shaken by temporary setbacks or failures. This confidence doesn't come from arrogance or overinflated self-esteem, but from a genuine appreciation of their own journey and growth. To get the most out of the reverse goals strategy, consider the following exercise. Set aside an hour for a reverse bucket list workshop. Find a quiet, comfortable space and gather some paper and pens or your favorite journaling tools. Begin by taking a few deep breaths to center yourself. Then, start brainstorming your achievements, starting from your earliest memories up to the present day. As you write each achievement, pause to really feel the sense of accomplishment. Visualize the moment of success, the challenges you overcame, the growth you experienced. Allow yourself to fully appreciate each achievement, no matter how small it might seem. After you've created your initial reverse bucket list, commit to reviewing and adding to it regularly. Set a reminder to spend a few minutes each week reflecting on recent accomplishments and adding them to your list. At the end of each month, take some time to review your entire list and celebrate your journey. Remember, the power of reverse goals lies not just in creating your list, but in using it consistently to reshape your self-image and combat negative thoughts. Like any skill, this takes practice. You might find it challenging at first, especially if you're not used to focusing on your achievements. That's okay. Start small and be patient with yourself. If you find it difficult to recognize your achievements, try seeking input from others. Ask friends, family members, or colleagues to share what they see as your strengths and accomplishments. Often, others can see our successes more clearly than we can ourselves. As you continue to practice the reverse goals strategy, don't be afraid to get creative with how you implement it. Some people find it helpful to create a success journal where they regularly record their achievements. Others prefer to create a visual success map that charts their accomplishments over time. Find a method that resonates with you and makes the practice enjoyable. The journey of cultivating self-confidence through reverse goals is one of continual discovery and appreciation. Each achievement you recognize, each strength you acknowledge, is a step towards a more positive, resilient state of mind. As you move forward, remember that your past successes are not just memories, but building blocks for your future growth. As we conclude this exploration of reverse goals, you might be wondering what other powerful tools await you on this journey of emotional transformation. The next chapter will introduce you to a technique that doesn't just involve reflection or mental exercises, but taps into the power of physical action to process and release emotions. Are you ready to discover how a simple, everyday object can become a powerful tool for emotional healing? Ink lines. Have you ever found yourself absently scribbling on a piece of paper during a long phone call or a tedious meeting? Those seemingly random lines and shapes you create might hold more power than you realize. Welcome to the world of ink lines, where the simple act of doodling becomes a gateway to emotional freedom and mental clarity. But what exactly are ink lines, and how can they help transform negativity into positivity? Imagine for a moment that your emotions are like colors of ink swirling inside you. Sometimes these emotions can become overwhelming, like too much ink in a small bottle. Ink lines provide a way to let these emotions flow out onto paper, creating a beautiful and unique pattern that represents your inner world. At its core, the ink lines technique is about mindful doodling. It's not about creating a masterpiece or even a recognizable image. Instead, it's about allowing your hand to move freely across the paper, guided by your emotions and intuition rather than your conscious mind. As you draw, you're not just creating lines on a page, you're creating a bridge between your inner emotional world and the outer physical world. But why is this simple act of doodling so powerful? The answer lies in the unique way it engages both our minds and our bodies. When we doodle mindfully, we enter a state of flow, where our conscious mind takes a back seat and our subconscious is free to express itself. This state allows us to process emotions and experiences in a nonverbal way, bypassing the limitations of language and logical thought. Moreover, the physical act of drawing engages our body in the emotional processing. As our hand moves across the paper, we're not just thinking about our emotions, we're physically expressing them. This mind-body connection can be incredibly powerful for releasing pent-up feelings and reducing stress. So how do we put this technique into practice? The beauty of ink lines is that it requires very little in terms of materials or preparation. All you need is a piece of paper and a pen or pencil. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed and take a few deep breaths to center yourself. As you begin to draw, try to let go of any expectations or judgments about what your doodle should look like. This isn't about creating good art, it's about authentic expression. Let your hand move across the paper without a predetermined plan. You might start with simple shapes or lines, allowing them to evolve and intertwine as you continue. As you draw, pay attention to the sensations in your body. Notice the feeling of the pen in your hand, the texture of the paper, the sound of the ink or graphite as it moves across the page. If your mind starts to wander or you find yourself getting caught up in negative thoughts, gently bring your attention back to the physical act of drawing. You might find that certain emotions correspond to certain types of lines or shapes. Anger might express itself in sharp, jagged lines, while sadness might manifest as soft, wavy patterns. Joy might burst forth in spirals or stars. There's no right or wrong way for your emotions to appear on the page. The important thing is to allow them to flow freely through your hand onto the paper. As you continue to practice ink lines, you may notice several benefits. In the short term, you might experience an immediate sense of relief or release. The act of expressing your emotions, even in this abstract form, can help to diffuse their intensity and provide a sense of catharsis. Over time, regular practice can lead to improved emotional regulation and self-awareness. You may find that you become more attuned to your emotional states and better able to express and process them in healthy ways. This can lead to reduced stress and anxiety, as well as a greater sense of overall emotional balance. At the highest level of practice, many people report a profound shift in their relationship with their emotions. They develop a deep sense of comfort with the full range of their emotional experiences, seeing them not as problems to be solved, but as natural and valuable aspects of their inner landscape. This acceptance can lead to greater emotional resilience and a more positive outlook on life. To get the most out of the ink lines technique, consider the following exercise. Set aside 15 to 20 minutes for a guided doodling session. Find a comfortable space and gather your materials. Begin by taking a few deep breaths and checking in with your emotional state. How are you feeling right now? Without trying to change or judge your emotions, simply acknowledge them. Now, pick up your pen and begin to draw. Let your emotions guide your hand. If you're feeling stuck, try closing your eyes for a few moments and drawing blindly, focusing solely on the physical sensation of the pen moving across the paper. Continue drawing until you feel a sense of completion or until your allotted time is up. After you finish drawing, take a few moments to reflect on the experience. How do you feel now compared to when you started? What do you notice about your doodle? Are there any patterns or shapes that stand out to you? Remember, the goal isn't to analyze or interpret your drawing, but simply to notice and acknowledge what emerged. If you find it challenging to get started with ink lines, don't worry. Like any new skill, it takes practice to feel comfortable with this technique. If you're feeling stuck, try starting with a simple prompt. Draw how your body feels right now, or create a visual representation of your day. The key is to approach the practice with curiosity and openness, rather than judgment or expectation. For those who feel they lack creativity or artistic skill, remember that ink lines isn't about creating good art. It's about authentic expression. Your doodles don't need to look like anything recognizable or aesthetically pleasing to be valuable. The power of this technique lies in the process, not the product. As you continue to explore ink lines, you might find it helpful to keep a dedicated journal for your doodles. This can allow you to look back over time and notice patterns or changes in your emotional expression. Some people find it beneficial to combine their doodling with written journaling, using the visual and verbal expressions to complement each other. The journey of emotional expression through ink lines is one of continual discovery and growth. Each line you draw, each shape you create, is a step towards greater emotional awareness and balance. As you move forward, remember that your doodles are not just marks on a page, but a unique and valuable expression of your inner world. As we conclude this exploration of ink lines, you might be wondering what other powerful tools await you on this journey of emotional transformation. The next chapter will introduce you to a technique that goes beyond drawing or writing, tapping into the cathartic power of physical action. Are you ready to discover how a simple, everyday gesture can become a powerful ritual for emotional release and renewal? Chapter 8, Rip Release. Have you ever felt so overwhelmed by negative thoughts that you wished you could just crumple them up and throw them away? What if I told you that this simple, instinctive action could be transformed into a powerful tool for emotional release and renewal? Welcome to the world of Rip Release, where the act of destruction becomes a gateway to emotional freedom. But what exactly is Rip Release, and how can such a seemingly aggressive act lead to positive emotional change? Imagine for a moment that your negative thoughts and emotions are like weeds in a garden. Sometimes, simply ignoring them or trying to think positive thoughts isn't enough. Sometimes, you need to pull them out by the roots. Rip Release is the emotional equivalent of weeding your mental garden, allowing fresh positivity to grow in its place. At its core, Rip Release is a form of creative destruction. It's about giving tangible form to your negative thoughts and emotions, and then symbolically destroying that form. This might sound counterintuitive at first. After all, aren't we usually taught to nurture and preserve rather than destroy? But in the realm of emotional health, sometimes destruction can be the most constructive act of all. The power of Rip Release lies in its ability to provide a physical outlet for our emotional experiences. When we're caught in cycles of negative thinking, our thoughts can feel abstract and overwhelming. By giving these thoughts a concrete form, writing them down on paper, we make them tangible. And once they're tangible, we can take action against them. But why is this physical act of destruction so cathartic? The answer lies in the psychological concept of catharsis. Catharsis is the process of releasing strong or repressed emotions, often through some form of expression or action. When we physically destroy representations of our negative thoughts, we're not just going through the motions. We're engaging in a deeply symbolic act that allows us to release pent-up emotions and create space for more positive feelings. So, how do we put this powerful technique into practice? The beauty of Rip Release is its simplicity. All you need is some paper, a pen, and a safe space where you can engage in the act of destruction without worry. Begin by finding a quiet moment where you won't be disturbed. Take a few deep breaths to center yourself, then start writing down your negative thoughts and emotions. Don't censor yourself or try to make your writing coherent or pretty. This isn't about creating a literary masterpiece. It's about getting your raw, unfiltered thoughts onto paper. As you write, allow yourself to fully experience the emotions associated with these thoughts. You might feel anger, sadness, frustration, or fear. Whatever arises, let it come. The goal is to transfer these emotions from your mind onto the paper. Once you've finished writing, take a moment to acknowledge what you've expressed. Then comes the cathartic part. It's time to destroy what you've written. You might choose to rip the paper into tiny pieces, crumple it into a ball, or even safely burn it, always ensuring proper safety precautions. As you engage in this act of destruction, visualize your negative thoughts and emotions being released and dissipating. The physical act of destruction is key to the rip-release technique. It provides a tangible, visceral experience of letting go. As you tear or crumple the paper, you're not just destroying a piece of paper. You're symbolically freeing yourself from the grip of negative thoughts and emotions. After you've completed the destruction, take a few moments to sit with the experience. Notice how you feel. Many people report a sense of lightness or relief after engaging in rip-release. It's as if a weight has been lifted from their shoulders. As you continue to practice rip-release, you may notice several benefits. In the short term, you might experience an immediate sense of emotional relief. The act of expressing and then destroying negative thoughts can provide a quick release valve for pent-up emotions. Over time, regular practice can lead to improved emotional clarity and regulation. You may find that you become more adept at identifying and processing difficult emotions rather than getting caught up in cycles of negative thinking. This can lead to a greater sense of emotional balance and resilience in your daily life. At the highest level of practice, many people report a profound shift in their relationship with negative thoughts and emotions. They develop a deep understanding that thoughts and emotions are transient experiences that can be acknowledged and released rather than fixed aspects of their identity. This perspective can lead to greater emotional freedom and a more positive outlook on life. To get the most out of the rip-release technique, consider the following exercise. Set aside 20 to 30 minutes for a guided rip-release session. Find a comfortable and private space where you won't be disturbed. Gather your materials, paper, pens, and a safe means of destroying the paper, such as a shredder or a secure place to tear it up. Begin by taking a few deep breaths and checking in with your emotional state. What negative thoughts or emotions are present for you right now? Without judging or trying to change them, simply acknowledge their presence. Now, start writing. Let your thoughts and emotions flow onto the paper without censorship or judgment. Write until you feel you've expressed everything that needs to come out. This might take 5 minutes, or it might take 20. Trust your intuition to know when you're done. Once you've finished writing, read over what you've written. As you read, remind yourself that these thoughts and emotions are not permanent or defining aspects of who you are. They're simply experiences you're having in this moment. Now comes the release. Tear the paper into pieces, crumple it up, or shred it. As you do this, visualize the negative thoughts and emotions being released and transformed. You might even want to create a verbal affirmation to accompany this act, such as, "I release these thoughts and emotions. They no longer have power over me." After you've destroyed the paper, take a few moments to sit quietly and notice how you feel. Has your emotional state shifted? Do you feel a sense of release or lightness? If you find it challenging to engage in rip-release, don't worry. Some people may initially feel resistance to the idea of destroying their thoughts, even negative ones. If this is the case for you, start small. Perhaps begin by writing down just one negative thought and destroying it. As you become more comfortable with the process, you can gradually increase the scope of your practice. Remember, the goal of rip-release isn't to deny or suppress negative thoughts and emotions. It's about acknowledging them, expressing them in a safe way, and then consciously choosing to let them go. This practice can be particularly powerful when combined with other emotional regulation techniques you've learned, such as the silent nod or micro-stillness. As you continue to explore rip release, you might find it helpful to create a ritual around the practice. Some people like to light a candle before they begin writing or play calming music during their session. Others prefer to follow their rip release with a positive affirmation or a brief meditation. The key is to find a practice that feels meaningful and effective for you. The journey of emotional release through rip release is one of continual discovery and growth. Each time you engage in this practice, you're not just releasing negative thoughts, you're affirming your power to choose your emotional state. You're reminding yourself that you are not your thoughts or emotions, but the awareness that experiences them. As we conclude this exploration of rip release, you might be wondering how all these powerful techniques we've explored fit together into a cohesive approach to emotional mastery. The final chapter will tie everything together, showing you how to integrate these strategies into your daily life for lasting transformation. Are you ready to step into the dawn of a new emotional landscape where negativity no longer holds sway and positivity becomes your natural state of being? Chapter 9, The Dawn of Positivity. As we stand at the threshold of this final chapter, take a moment to reflect on the journey you've embarked upon. From the urgent call of the midnight shift to the cathartic release of rip release, you've explored a landscape of emotional intelligence that has the power to transform your life. This isn't just the end of a book, it's the beginning of a new chapter in your life, the dawn of positivity. The techniques you've learned aren't just theoretical concepts or temporary fixes. They're powerful tools that, when integrated into your daily life, can reshape your emotional landscape and empower you in ways you might never have imagined. Think about it. You now possess the ability to acknowledge your emotions without judgment, find moments of calm in the midst of chaos, create a mental sanctuary of peace, shift your focus to gratitude, celebrate your past achievements, express your emotions creatively, and release negativity through symbolic acts. These aren't small accomplishments. You've essentially been given a toolkit for emotional mastery, one that can help you navigate the complexities of your inner world with greater ease and confidence. This newfound emotional intelligence isn't just about feeling better, though that's certainly a significant benefit. It's about building a more resilient mindset, one that can weather life's storms and emerge stronger on the other side. But the impact of what you've learned extends far beyond your own internal experience. As you continue to practice these techniques and develop your emotional intelligence, you'll likely notice a profound shift in your relationships with others. Think about how your interactions might change when you're able to approach situations with greater emotional clarity and balance. Imagine being able to remain calm and centered during a heated argument, or to express empathy and understanding even when faced with difficult people. The emotional intelligence you've developed can help you build stronger, more positive connections with others, enhancing both your personal and professional relationships. Consider for a moment what you'll be able to achieve now that you couldn't before. The negativity that might have held you back in the past no longer has the same power over you. You have the tools to overcome self-doubt, to push through fear, to bounce back from setbacks with renewed determination. This isn't about never experiencing negative emotions. That's not realistic or even desirable. It's about having the confidence and the skills to navigate those emotions effectively, to use them as catalysts for growth rather than obstacles to success. As you continue to practice the concepts in this book, you'll likely find that achieving emotional balance becomes easier and more natural over time. This is where the magic of consistency comes into play. Each time you use one of these techniques, you're not just addressing an immediate emotional need, you're actually rewiring your brain. This is where the fascinating concept of neuroplasticity comes in. Your brain isn't fixed, it's constantly adapting and changing based on your experiences and behaviors. When you consistently practice these emotional intelligence techniques, you're creating new neural pathways, strengthening your brain's capacity for positive emotional responses. Over time, what once required conscious effort can become second nature. So, how do you integrate these strategies into your daily life for long-term benefits? The key is to create a routine that incorporates these practices regularly. This doesn't mean you need to spend hours each day on emotional exercises. Rather, it's about finding small ways to weave these techniques into your existing routines. Perhaps you start your day with a few minutes of micro-stillness as you sip your morning coffee. Maybe you keep your magic flashcards on your desk for a midday boost of positivity. You might end your day with a brief visit to your inner fortress before bed. The specifics will depend on your lifestyle and preferences, but the important thing is consistency. As you continue on this journey, remember that transformation is a process, not a destination. There will be days when negativity feels overwhelming, when these techniques seem challenging to implement. That's okay. The journey from darkness to light isn't always a straight path, but each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Reflect for a moment on how far you've come already. Think about the insights you've gained, the moments of clarity you've experienced. Celebrate these victories, no matter how small they might seem. Each is a testament to your growth and resilience. Looking forward, the future is bright with possibility. The dawn of positivity isn't just a poetic phrase, it's a real opportunity for transformation that you now have the tools to seize. As you continue to strengthen your emotional intelligence, you're not just changing your own life, you're contributing to a more emotionally aware and positive world. In these final moments of our journey together, I want to share with you the ultimate payoff of mastering emotional intelligence, the ability to create your own emotional reality. This might sound like an extraordinary claim, but it's grounded in the science of neuroplasticity and the power of consistent practice. Imagine a life where you're no longer at the mercy of external circumstances or internal turmoil, a life where you have the power to choose your emotional state, to find joy and peace even in challenging situations. This isn't about denying reality or suppressing genuine emotions. It's about having the wisdom to accept what you can't change, the courage to change what you can, and the emotional intelligence to navigate it all with grace and positivity. This is the true dawn of positivity, a new day where you are the author of your emotional story. You have the pen in your hand, and the pages of your future are waiting to be written. What story will you choose to tell? As you close this book and step into this new dawn, remember that the journey doesn't end here. It's just beginning. The techniques you've learned are your compass, your map, your toolkit for the adventure ahead. Use them wisely, practice them consistently, and watch as your world transforms, one positive thought at a time. The dawn has broken, and a new day of emotional mastery awaits. As you step into the light, embracing your newfound skills, remember that emotional intelligence is just the beginning. There's a hidden dimension to truly mastering your emotions, one that can amplify your results tenfold. What if you could combine your emotional awareness with razor-sharp critical thinking? Imagine the possibilities that would open up in your relationships, career, and personal growth. The next step in your transformation journey awaits, promising to take your emotional intelligence to unprecedented heights. Discover how to rapidly boost your emotional intelligence in the audiobook High EQ Critical Thinking, How to 10x Your Emotional Intelligence Overnight. Tap the center of the video now to continue your transformation journey.